light of decency and dignity, of freedom and possibilities. For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
What could the father of the bride possibly be doing on his phone?
That doesn't sound very nice. Can you imagine if Putin said that about Biden? Living in America has its pros and cons, and I guess one of the cons can be having Joe Biden as your president because he is a self-admitted gaffe machine. And I know, at least he's not lying like that other guy. But these gaffes are, it just seems like it's bad timing. Did Franklin Roosevelt have these types of gaffes? Did JFK have these types of gaffes? Did Abraham Lincoln have these types of gaffes? I know that George Bush did. I know George Bush. I know that George Bush did. And we're going through a war right now, and this is a very serious time. Though you have to find a little bit of levity in times like these because there's a war going on. None of us have any control of it. None of us know exactly what's going on. We do know rumors, hints, rumors, and innuendos. Just like it's crazy how Russia crashes into Ukraine after all this Ukrainian stuff's been going on. They've had their own business going on, but then our president, his son had some dealings there with his laptop where he was getting paid by energy companies in Ukraine. And there's a lot of business going on in Ukraine with their farms and their energy sources, and they have a bunch of resources there that they would really like, that the world would like to get a hold of. But with all that being said, even though the New York Times, which was I think that was a company that people actually trusted at one point or another, but even the New York Times hid that story about Joe Biden, and now later you see that it's being released publicly. Or was it Facebook and Twitter that hid it publicly? And then later on, it was discovered that, no, it actually is true. It is true. And maybe that helped Biden come into office. Maybe it didn't. I didn't really pay too close attention. I've kind of been seeing and hearing things, but as we go along, guys, like overanalyzing too much of this stuff isn't really going to do us any good because it's hard to know what real information we're getting. Even the gaffes that Joe Biden's making don't even make any sense. And another one of these gaffes that he made, especially here recently, was when he was talking to troops. He was talking to the troops, and he was talking to the troops in the transcript of what he was saying to them. And this is another thing because you have to know that gaffe that I started with. Can you imagine if Putin said that about Biden? If Putin came out and said, "My God, this man needs to be out of power. We need to take this guy out of power." That's not exactly what Biden said, but you heard him. We heard what he said. By God, this man cannot stay in power. Think about the Chinese president saying that about our president. We're all pretty intelligent here, and we all understand that there is a war of rhetoric going on, especially with all the with all the fucking countries in the world. First of all, it's a rhetoric war, and as opposed to a real war which is going on, but everyone's trying to have this information battle and get all of the information out. But then again, how do you know what information is right? How do you know what information is wrong? How do you know exactly how all of these things are going? But another one of Biden's gaffes were on Thursday. Biden told reporters that if Russia were to use chemical weapons, it would trigger a response in kind. Which sounds, it sounds like if they use a chemical weapon, then we're going to use a chemical weapon on them. We know, most people know what you mean, but all it takes is just one person to read it the first time and not really read exactly what they're saying and be like, respond in kind to a chemical attack? That sounds horrible. That sounds horrendous. I don't want that. Oh, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. That's escalating tensions. But luckily, no one's pressed that button yet. Yet. And now another gaffe. I guess he's had like 3 recent really good gaffes. And that one where he was talking about Putin being in power, out of power, I'm pretty sure that most people know that our president, he has a hard time just communicating in general. You know, with the Ukrainian people, Ukrainian people have a lot of backbone. Biden said they have a lot of guts, and I'm sure you're observing it. And you're going to see when you're there. And some of you have been there. You're going to see. You're going to see women, young people standing in the middle in front of a damn tank, just saying, I'm not leaving. I'm holding my ground. They're incredible. But they take a lot of inspiration from us. Everyone's inspired by each other. I would expect these people to defend their land, but they also understand that they're probably not in a winning situation either. Though I know that a lot of the news is saying, like, you can push back in these types of things and stuff, but Russia's basically dealing with an insurgency, it seems. That type of modern warfare situation where you got a few here or there, but it's not really like a full-on war. But my God, this man cannot stay in power. So now back to that gaffe at the beginning. They said that was planned. They said that it wasn't planned for him to say, my God, this man cannot remain in power. That was ad-libbed. That's what they're saying. Now, are they saying that because it's a bad take, or are they saying they're going to get a filler? They're going to get a feeler and see like how people are feeling it. How is it received? Just throw it on there. He's reading it. He barely has a time reading it, but who knows if he's really reading it. So that's where we are right now. I mean, it's hard. I don't like trying to cover this stuff all the time, maybe once or twice a week, just because everything changes so often and so much. By the time you pump out one video, you got 20 other things that have happened that have completely changed the story, and it changes every day. But I do know that, here at home, everything's tightening up. Everybody has to tighten up their pants. They have to tighten up everything because it's getting tighter. It's getting tighter. Inflation's going up. Everything's going up. All the prices. Not only is your money worth less, but it costs. You have to use more of your money. So Ted Lieu said, Tyler Pager. I don't know who these people are, but these are some more comments that were online that we can see. Biden's line tonight was saying Putin cannot remain in power was not planned and a surprise to U.S. officials, per People Familiar. Still, officials say no change in policy. Instead, the line was an example of Biden's sometimes inarticulate rhetoric. And now Ted Lieu said, for God's sakes, please give POTUS some credit. Just because it wasn't in his text does not mean he was inarticulate. He has more foreign policy experience than many experts. Yeah, but he's an old man, of course. That line was the culmination of his speech, delivered with emphasis. He knew exactly what he was saying, and he probably did know exactly what he was saying. But is that a good thing that he knew what he was saying? I mean, that is risking escalating tensions big time. Oh, my lighting's fucking up. I got to get off here. We got to get off here. The lighting's messing up again. All right. Who knows what the hell is going on? It's hard to tell, but I do know that our president has problems communicating, and it's easy to go on and make fun of it, but it's just an old trope. It's an old trope at this point. Hopefully, we're going to continue on, and we're going to continue learning, and we're going to continue seeing exactly what's going on in the world, in our lives. Hopefully, at the end of the day, you don't stress too much about all of these things that are going on in the world because we're just fed this information. However you take it, don't take it to heart. Just understand that, hey, we're going to be here tomorrow. We're going to be here tomorrow, and we're going to be here the next day. So you have to try not to stress and get high anxiety about all these things going on because it ain't going to help. The only thing that's going to help is for you to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and stay free. Took that from Russell Brand. I've been watching a bunch of Russell Brand videos here recently, so stay free.